All right. I think we are live. I apologize for the YouTube hiccups with getting started because for some reason YouTube did not want to start, but we are going.
Hello. Yay. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm very excited. Why are we excited? Well, because I think what we're going to do is we are going to play a game today, Thais, aren't we?
Yes, we are. All
Well,
about email to case premium.
we should definitely play the email to case premium game. 10 things you wish you knew about email to case premium that'll only take you like 20 minutes to implement, and 9 of them also work in Classic. That is the game that we're going to play today.
Yes. So we all know that support teams face many challenges, and we want to show you how email to case premium can help your organization today. So whether you're a longtime user or a newbie, we definitely have a setting for you to enable, and we are going to show everything that you need to know about them in this game show of features.
But first, we would not be the same if we did not have a forward-looking statement. I have a fresh new forward-looking statement card that says my statements are forward-looking because that is sometimes what we talk about. So please do not purchase any product before it is unreleased or make any purchase decisions before it's unreleased. That said, we're going to be talking about things that are all pretty much almost everything we talk about today is already ready to go, except for one last thing at the end, which will be ready by the midsummer timeline. So let's get started with the agenda, Thais. Let's go through this game.
Yes, so we are going to have 3 rounds of this game. So we are going to start with round 1, where we will show you features around case creation. Then round 2 is going to be for features around sending comments and then viewing meaningful information in timeline. We are then going to take a quick commercial break and answer some questions from the audience. Then we're going to be back for round 3, where we are going to show you all about the reply and timeline for communities. And we actually have a bonus round, and that is all about invocable methods.
It's pretty cool. So with that, let's just get started. Thais, I'm switching to your demo screen. Let's look at the demo. Let's talk case creation.
Perfect. Yeah, because we have to create cases. After that, if there are no cases, email to case premium doesn't even get a chance to shine. So we are going to start with our feature number 1, inbound email addresses. So I'm just going to search for that here in our smart search. I just click on the setting and here I am. So when you are defining your organization support addresses here in the setup wizard, you can specify values for the origin, the priority, the record type, and also the owner, which is our latest addition here. So the nice thing now with the owner defined on case creation from email to case premium, you don't have to worry about setting up assignment rules and managing things outside of the app. So this is definitely easier for the admin who is just configuring everything. And if you happen to have any issues and need to open a support case with Picasso, we just know exactly where to look at.
It really simplifies just the overall setup. It's also something where with all these different inbound addresses, there's 3 listed here, but we've seen customers with like hundreds of these. So if you had to manage all of that inbound assignment and all those different things for all those different addresses, this is just a really clean way to pretty much do all the heavy lifting for you. You want to add a new address, you can just add it here and you don't have to mess with anything else. It's very, very straightforward. All right.
Yes.
Next feature, number 2. What is it?
Yes.
My favorite one. My favorite one.
Oh, is it really?
It's one. Okay, it's one of the 197 favorite features I have of email to case premium.
Okay, so let's talk about forward to case. And we all know that the wrong people sometimes they get the wrong messages, questions that are really not intended for them. So let's say that someone from the sales team, they received an email with a very technical question that they just don't have the knowledge to answer. So they just want to open a support case. When forward to case is enabled, they can just forward that email in using one of the forward markers. So you would just make sure that you add all of the ones from your email client. If you have different languages in the org, make sure to add them as well. So as soon that email is forwarded, the case is going to get created with the original sender's information and not that salesperson at all. So that is where the magic happens between the scenes, behind
It's
the scenes.
behind the scenes. It sounds like if I'm sitting there, let's say I'm a salesperson, I'm on the road, I got my little phone out, and a client says to me, "Hey Howard, I'm having a problem with, with our product. Can you help me?" The salesperson can simply hit the forward button, put in the support address it should go to, and it's as if the customer just sent it to the right place in the first place. And as a salesperson, I could be looped in on that. I'm now part of that case thread if I want to be. So it's very, very cool that way.
Yeah.
All right.
And let's just finish going over the other subsettings for
Oh,
forward
yeah, these are
case.
good. These are
So,
great.
yeah. So you can actually forward cases to existing cases just by adding that case number at the end of the subject line. You can choose to add everyone that was CC'd so that they are in the loop in that new email thread. And then the person who forwarded that email can be added as a case team member, like Howard mentioned, and then you just pick the role that they're going to be added as.
That's awesome. And let's sort of go to the next feature on this list, which I really love. And that's like, what if a case has been closed for a while and a customer replies to that case? What happens? Like, what do you do with that?
Yeah, so our time close into new case creation setting, it allows organizations to just decide when new cases should be created instead of reopening existing closed cases. So this setting can actually be used with our variation presets feature of email to case premium, which is great. And it also helps maintain that one issue per case philosophy that we know most support teams follow. So to enable it, you would just select that time frame from the drop down. For us, we think 1 week is fine. So after 1 week, new cases are going to get created. But you see that you have tons of options. So just pick whatever is good for your organization. And then if cases get reopened within that first week, we actually want that status to be changed to reopen because that just makes sense for our support process. But then you can define whatever status that you want to work with. And then also, whenever cases are reopened, we actually want it to be assigned to our product support queue. We just want to make sure that someone is going to grab it. And so we're just assigning it to our queue. But if you want the original case owner to still own that case, you can just leave the setting blank. And then as the last setting here, you can just make references to the original case, just that the support team, they know what's been happening, that it originated from other cases. So you can choose all of the references. So you can have no references if that is something that you want to do. You can set a pairing field on the case, or you can add a comment just talking about that reference, or you can actually have both at the same time.
It's a ton of flexibility for teams.
Yeah.
Something, another thing that sometimes people struggle with case creation are cases that shouldn't be created. So what do we do to handle that?
Oh, I love this setting. It's called blocked email list, and this is great for spam. We all know that spam, they are annoying, they are irrelevant, and they usually get in the way of agents providing the support that they need to people that really matter. So with this setting, you can actually add specific email domains or email addresses, and then whenever they email your support address, no new case is going to get created at all.
It's pretty special. And I think about it from a standpoint of, handling spam should realistically be done at the mail server level. But sometimes stuff is going on and you don't have time to get to your IT team and have them add stuff. If everything's configured properly, sometimes there's an email sender that like you keep getting junk from. So you can add those to this list. You can also add specific domains. So if you have a particular domain, like I've heard of a customer that they don't want any Gmail address creating accounts. They have to be part of their business address and stuff like that. So they could actually put gmail.com as a blocked case creator in here. So you would never have that situation. So it handles spam, but it also can handle some of those interesting use cases, maybe even log files that keep getting sent to your support address that shouldn't create cases. You put them on the blocked email list. However you want to do it, there's lots of flexibility you can do. So I think
Yeah.
what we should do is we should go to the scoreboard now. How is this going in terms of what works in Classic?
Yes, so as you can see here, all of these work in Classic. You use the Lightning Setup Wizard because it's just nicer. You have that smart search that we showed you. But once that's configured, everything is just going to work in Classic with no issues for your agents.
All right. So technically, we need to go to round 2. Thais, are you ready for round 2?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Back to the demo.
Okay. Yes. So this round is where we're going to talk about sending comments and then viewing information in timeline. So the first setting that I'm going to show you is template auto selection rules. Let me just select it here and boom. So the first thing to know about email templates is that they drive the formatting of the emails and not the content. And we really think that support agents shouldn't be tasked with that selection of the email templates, that it should be smart for them. So with this setting, you select key fields from the case. Right now, we are using the record type ID and the case type. So whenever cases are created with these values, these specific templates are going to be used. And that just gives your agents time to just really work on what matters, composing the comment, and then sending their replies in a timely manner.
So you could use this if you, let's say, for example, you had different brands that you were supporting, and each of those brands was like represented in a case type. You could have an email template for brand number 1 that might have a really like a blue theme, and then brand number 2 that might have a really good red theme and something like that. And you just work the cases so whatever that type is sends out the right formatted email overall look.
Yeah, love it.
Absolutely. All right, moving right along.
Yes, feature number 2. Let's talk about knowledge and external knowledge bases. Oops. Guess I'll try. Oh. Let me just do this thing. The demo gods are not in our favors today. Let me just save this setting.
Let's
Yes.
invoke the refresher Rooney tactic.
There you go. Now we're seeing all of the settings. So external knowledge bases. So not sure if you're aware, but in the past, we only supported Salesforce knowledge bases, but now we actually allow you to use knowledge that is stored outside of Salesforce. So to get this working, you need to create a URL field on the knowledge object. That field is going to store the URL knowledge base. And then when your agents are composing the comments, they should be using this knowledge links external merge field that is present in the canned comments that you create.
Got it. And is that the same merge field? Like if they had been, let's say they were using Salesforce knowledge and they transitioned away, it's the same merge field, correct?
No, it's actually a different one.
Well, okay, so it's a new one.
Yes, we packaged 2 now. Knowledge links is for internal knowledge bases, and then knowledge links external for your external knowledge bases.
So good extra reminder, you have to use the right link in your canned comment.
Yes, yes.
Excellent. I'm glad I reminded everyone of that in my wonderfully self-deprecating way.
All right, so let's go to feature number 3.
Oh my God, this is my favorite feature. Wait, this is one of my 197 favorite features.
I thought it was forward to case, Howard.
It's also forward to case, but this one really makes my heart sing because it's like, it's reducing case handle time in such a powerful way. So what is this feature?
Yes. So to enable scheduled comments, it's really just easy. You just toggle that setting on. You do need to have draft comments enabled, but you should already be using that because it's awesome. So you just enable it. And then when agents are composing their replies, they are going to see a clock icon on the new comment page, which I'm going to show you now. So I'm here on a case. I'm just going to click on the public comment button. I'm going to compose a reply. And here, the nice thing at Vicasso, we have a very useful use case for this feature where we set up follow-up processes. So what we usually do is we got a case, we send the initial response from the case, and then we go back to the new comment page and we just schedule a follow-up comment for 2 days in the future, just to make sure that the client got our email, that they did everything that we asked, if they got a chance to review everything. So let's pretend that I'm just going to send a follow-up here on this case. It's going to be my first follow-up, and I'm just going to insert the canned comment. So here, instead of saving and sending the comment right now, I'm just going to click on the clock icon, and I'm going to select 2 days in advance. I know the next week is a holiday, so I'm going to send it on Wednesday. And then I want to do it at maybe like 8 a.m.
So this is a really good use case. When I think about this as like, we have a holiday coming up next week. So you could, on, let's say, Friday morning when you're cleaning things up, give you a fresh start to remind all of your customers who have already left to like go down the shore or whatever. You could give them this, like, I'll just get all this work done when no one's bothering me. And all of the follow-ups that I would typically have to send on my first day back, they can all be automated for me, can't they?
Yes. Yeah, it's awesome. So here I have the option to schedule and then keep editing my comment, but I'm pretty happy with what I have. So I'm just going to schedule and return to the case. And then if I go to timeline, you're going to see that it's here just as a draft. And then when that time comes by, it's going to go out to my client. Unless they are really fast, they need attention, they just replied to me, then this scheduling is going to get canceled, but my comment is still going to be here as a draft comment.
It's a great combination of features to really let you reduce the handle time, sort of predict what might happen on the case, but also if there is something that happens in the meantime, by saving it as a draft, you don't lose your work, but you also don't send something out by accident. So,
Yeah.
All those follow-ups that we sent Friday morning that were scheduled for Wednesday when everyone gets back, if 2 or 3 of those customers replied during the weekend or something like that, or weren't on holiday, then their replies would make these comments back to draft and not send them. And the case would just be flagged if you happen to be using case flags by Vicasso. Warning, shameless marketing. Sorry for the cameo appearance of that. But yes, it would absolutely work together with that as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Feature number 4 here.
Yes. So we are going to talk about showing recipient information in timeline. Whoops. So show recipients at the top of the comments from inbound emails. So here, another simple setting to enable, you just toggle it on and then you're ready to use it. So when this is enabled, we are going to display who sent that inbound email in and to whom that email was sent to. So this is just nice information for the agent working on the case. As you can see here, for an example, Howard, this message came from Howard and he sent it to our apps demo support address. And if there were other people included as in the CC or either in the two, we would be showing you everything here. So this just avoids the support agent from having to like open individual email messages and just have to bounce around tabs, and just we show you everything that you need to know in timeline.
It's a great quality of life feature, I think. It's one less click. Who was included in that? Let me look at the original email record. No need to do that. Just you're getting a lot of stuff just shown there in the timeline for you. It's just pretty wonderful. Mm-hmm. What else could you show in the timeline that would also be useful, not necessarily in the email? He asked her knowingly.
You can show a lot of things. So with our tracked fields shown, you can display values as they are changed on the case. So right now you can see that we have case reason, the case type. We are also showing changes in owner, priority, status, and subject. But you can go nuts here. You can enable whatever it is that you want to. And then when agents are looking at the case timeline, they're going to see individual lines for those changes. So let's see here. The priority was changed. The reason was also changed, and we also had a status change from our first interaction. So you get that same chronology, so everything just makes sense as you are viewing the history of the case.
All right. It sounds like we need to go back to the big board to keep score.
Yes.
All right. So back on the big board, we've got 5 features in this round, and 4 out of 5 of them work brilliantly in Classic. You just configure them, and if your team is still using the classic versions of Email to Case Premium, they will all work. There is one exception, Thais.
I know. Yeah, it's
It's
sad,
sad.
but scheduled comments, we need that Lightning new comment page from the timeline Lightning component to be using that feature. So this is just another thing to make you move to Lightning for
If you
good.
haven't, yeah, if you haven't moved to Lightning and you're thinking, I'm almost there, I just need one more feature to knock us over the edge. Scheduled comments is the feature. Your teams will love the scheduled comment feature of the new comment page in Lightning. It's pretty wonderful that way.
Yeah.
So at this point, this is when we usually will switch to some questions and see if there's anything in the chat. I didn't see any questions in the chat. There's a lot of people in the chat, but no one's asked us any questions. And they're either overwhelmed by the amount of information, or we're just so clear that they don't have any questions. So I will
Ooh.
encourage you, it's also could be pretty good. I will encourage everyone, feel free to put questions in the chat. We will knock down some questions at the end. But with that, I kind of feel like we should move on to round 3.
Yes, I'm very excited for this round. I just love what we are about to show you. So let's talk about the reply and timeline component for communities. So support agents, they benefit from the timeline and the new comment page with everything that we just showed you, that clean view of the cases. But the sad thing is that clients were still stuck with the case comments related list provided by Salesforce when using that community portal, which can be very tricky and you have to navigate around multiple clicks just to view everything that you need. So we just wanted to bring them this awesome experience for communities. So actually, if you are using our Vicasso community to open cases or just interact with existing cases, you've already seen this and you've used it. But this is what it looks like. So we have 2 sections to the component. So the first one is a send a reply section where you are going to add or remove your recipient. You can compose your comments using rich text functionality. You can add inline images, and you can even take screenshots straight from that composer. Isn't that nice, Howard?
It's very nice. I mean, it almost feels like you're giving your customers a email composer inside of your community. And I think what's really nice about this is, the ability to upload files. If you were trying to configure that as a thing in Salesforce, you'd be configuring extra components. Inline images, you just really couldn't do with the case comments list you had available in communities. The formatting, colors, tables, bullets, all of this stuff just isn't available to you at all. So if we were just giving you the composer, I think a lot of our clients would be really happy, but we're giving you also the timeline.
Yes. So the timeline is here. Your clients are going to see all of the comments in that same chronological order. They can preview the email messages just by clicking the preview button. If there are attachments on the comments, they can just hover for a quick preview. But then if they click on it, they're also going to get that nice file viewer that we have. So we also have that smart search. You just start typing keywords and we're going to highlight it for you and just show the comments that they are found in. So yeah, it's awesome. It's a game changer for your clients. I'm sure that they are going to love you even more.
And the thing about this is we're only in the timeline for the community. We're only showing the public comments. So if you are communicating internally with private comments, none of that is exposed in the timeline. Your clients, if they reply via email, it's in the timeline. If they reply through the community, it's in the timeline. So they don't have to be forced down an email path or a community path. They just choose the right path for them, mixed up in the case, and all of it is here waiting for them without much effort. It's pretty wonderful. So I will say this is available today, but I'm giving you a forward-looking statements slide on this because, it's very, very new, and I want to make sure everyone understands this is very, very new.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk about pricing because when we've showed this to customers in the past, they've always said, well, how much? And the reason we have to talk about pricing is because we would I'd like to send my children to college. One of them is almost all the way through. The other one's getting ready to start in another year. So I have bills to pay. Thais has got, I think Thais wants to buy a house soon. Like all of these things we
Yes.
want to have live. Aside from all that, what we want to do is we want to make sure, realistically, our goal is any of our customers that are licensing email to Case Premium for their internal users, we want to make sure that you're able to use it with your community. However, because of the way Salesforce licenses things, you need managed package licenses for all of your community members. So imagine if you had, let's say you had a team of 50 support agents, you might have a community of, say, 5,000 people. You don't want to pay 5,050 licenses of email to Case Premium to make this work. So for your community experience, we have a pricing of 12 cents per user per month, sold in blocks of 1,000. That is the starting price. So basically it's $1,440 for 1,000 Experience Cloud users. Please talk to your account executives. We are going to be very aggressive with this, especially if you have larger communities. The discounts, the availability, there's going to be lots of things that we're doing there. But realistically, your community users need a license to email to Case Premium to use this. And I don't think you want to pay the list price of email to Case Premium for each community user. So we have a path for you to go down. As I said, please talk with your account executive. We will absolutely make sure that whatever size of community that you have, we will make this work for you in the best possible way. So onward we go with this, and I'm just checking to see things like this. All right, so let's talk about the bonus round. I definitely need the forward-looking statements on this. So my statements are forward-looking. Thais, do you want to talk? You know what? I'll talk about the invocable method.
Yes.
So we've had customers in the past say, you know what, we love email to Case Premium, but we have some other systems that we want to kind of do what email to Case Premium does through some kind of automation, or we want to try to automate some of our service, or we want to try to handle some things that happen when the cases first come in, and they wanted to do things and really extend the functionality of email to Case Premium. So now we are going to be introducing an invocable method. And what that is designed to do is it says, if you've got flow and you've got some imagination, we will let you call out to email to Case Premium and say, I would like to use email to Case Premium functionality in my automation. So basically, it's going to pretend like it's the new comment page, and you can send out content either as a public comment or a private comment. And you can choose what's in that comment. So basically in the invocable method, you're going to say, send a message on this case, send it as a private comment or a public comment. Your automation, because it's flow, you can choose when to send that. That's up to you. And the content of that message is either going to be a canned comment or content that you define. In this case of a canned comment, if that canned comment had merge fields, we would pull all of those in for you. So if you want to do things like say, imagine I wanted to automate my follow-up process. This is something that, we talked about with scheduled comments. I could, with this invocable method, say my follow-up process should look like this. I'll design that in Flow, and these are the canned comments that I'm going to use in that follow-up process that happens on day 1, on day 5, on day 93, whatever that is. And it's going to send those out as if a human sat there at the exact right time sending out that content. It's very, very cool. The other scenario that we see this being used is actually at the beginning of cases. So like right now, if you are using auto response rules to send out those email messages, you could actually build your flow so that if you do any case pre-processing, that case could then be pre-processed in the way that you wanted. And then your flow could finish up by saying, and now I'll send out that response, but that response might be something that's now editable as a canned comment. So your support team could be editing content that's built into your flows. It's very, very powerful tools. It also, if you were using a third-party system and you're like, I need this system that whenever a record is created, I need to take that content of a particular field value and throw that into the timeline, you could create a private comment when that new record appears with Flow, throw it into the timeline, and it would do all of those things. So you'd be able to show those related things inside of the timeline, just like a private comment would be. It's pretty awesome. So let's talk about availability, Thais. When is this going to be ready?
Well, it's coming. Our developers are hard at work. So we are estimating it to be available at the end of July. So if you are not part of our Trailblazer community, join us because we're going to be posting there firsthand whenever it is available.
Absolutely. So let us keep going. We talked about Trailblazer community, but let's also talk about feedback. So it's really important. And we do this all the time. And sometimes our customers are like, does this really mean we're going to schedule time with you? Yes, it does. So if you go to that vicas.so/product feedback link, that is the calendar to get to talk with us. Set up time, talk to us about your ideas. If it's support, like if you can't figure out how something's supposed to be configured, open up a support case. We'll absolutely get to that. But if you're like, you know what? I would love it if your product did X, Y, and Z. Is that possible? Or, oh, I have an idea. Or what's behind this? Maybe we can nuance it a bit. Those are great conversations. We love it. But super important for you to be part of that Trailblazer community. That's where we post things like when we're doing a live stream like this, new features as they become available, we put there. We keep that very much focused on our products. We try to keep it lightweight. You're not going to see 50 posts per week from us in there. If it's, one or two posts every couple of weeks, we keep it pretty light. So it's a good group to be a member of. All is good in that situation. So please do that. And let's see what else. Oh, the people on our team, the crazy people that we have on our team.
Yeah, we are awesome. So if you ever need help with anything, just open up a case. You can log into our community. You can chat with us. We are available on the website right there for you. You can email us. And even if you want to talk to us, we are here by phone too.
Absolutely. We're going to get to questions in a second. I saw a couple of questions in the chat, but let's sort of finish the main content here. One of the things that you can do for us, if you are on this live stream and you're like, these people are wonderful, we love this product, this is pretty amazing, go forth to the App Exchange, go to the little thing on Email to Case Premium and say, I would like to write an effusive review about how wonderful Vicasso is and how great their products are. That is what to do in there. Anything other than effusive praise, don't do that. We love to get those reviews. We read every one of them. We respond to every one of them as well. We want to make sure that those are handled properly. So please review us on the App Exchange. It's I'll call it a 3-minute gesture you can do today that is valuable to us for years and super duper easy. So please, if you like our apps, you like what we're doing, write us a review. And now let's go to questions. I think from a question standpoint, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back over to just the two of us here while we answer some questions. So one of the questions was, my Email to Case Premium setup screen doesn't look like your demo. Is this part of your most recent release?
We have had this for a while now. We do have some tabs that we package with Email to Case Premium. So you might be looking at just the classic one. But if you are running an older version, we definitely recommend that you update, but it should be there for you. If you are still not seeing it, open a case. We definitely want to get that going for you.
Absolutely. And the other question was, longtime user, first-time listener, how do we know who our account executive
Ooh,
is?
that's a good one. So if you have access to our community and you log in, you're going to see that under your account information. But if you don't, just shoot us an email and we can get that information over to you as soon as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that I don't want to create extra work for the product team, but if you were to just send a message to support@vicasso.com and say, who is my account executive, we will get you squared away really, really quickly. Log into the community. If it turns out you try to log into the community with your Salesforce account and your account isn't activated, we'll want to activate that for you too. So if you try to log into the community, have a problem, send an email to support@vicasso.com, say, I need help with the community and I want to know who my account executive is. And if we were practicing true one issue per case, we would split that into 2 cases using Case Split, available on the App Exchange. My apologies for the shameless marketing. But we would absolutely do that. So let's see here. So the follow-up question was, I'm on version 8.48. Should the Lightning setup be there? And the answer is yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
It should be there, but then if you go to the app launcher, you should be using the Email to Case Premium Setup tab. So if you see that there, try that one. But if you don't, just open a case. We are going to get that going for you.
Absolutely. So with that, and I'm just checking a little Chatty McChatterson, I kind of feel like we've gotten to the end of this. And if there aren't any more questions, then what I want to do is I want to say thank you to everybody who has been here. Thanks for coming to our live stream. We really appreciate you, and we hope to see you on a future live stream. And we can't wait to give you invocable methods and the reply and timeline component for the community, all that stuff. We don't have the date for the next live stream, but mark your calendars for those Case Flags customers, because that is likely the very next live stream in the middle of the summer. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, thank you. It was nice seeing you.
All right, take care.
Bye.